What up, YouTube? B-Side here once again, and in today's video I'm going to be testing some of the games that first came out with the DLSS feature. And now that the 50 series are coming out on January 30th, I think it's a great idea to use this DLSS 4 feature to test the first games that came out with the DLSS feature, because of the fact that some of these titles looked all fuzzy. The performance wasn't really there. There was too many artifacts going on in the screen. So I'm going to show you some of these games that came out with the early DLSS model with the new DLSS transformer model. Disclaimer, not all games are gonna look great. They still have some things that are limited to them that will make the image look a little bit fuzzy. But in terms of some of these games that I have tested, the new transformer model looks extraordinary. And I mean great. It looks almost, like if you put it in balance mode, you can barely tell that it's being downscaled and re-upscaled to 1440p using DLSS. Let's not forget, in this channel, I pay attention to a lot of user feedback. So if you have any suggestions and any videos that you want to see, make sure you drop it in the comments below. And if I have it available, I can make it possible. Now, without further ado, let's get started on the first game. The first game that we're going to test, and this is a somewhat older title, and one of the first games that DLSS was implemented, is Control. Now, this is regular native resolution. I am currently running on 1440p mode. So as you can see, it is very smooth. It is on max settings and it looks fantastic. It's a fantastic game. I definitely recommend you guys trying it. Now, the performance is dipping up a little bit, and you might see on the graph in the left corner that it does spike a little bit. And that is because in most of the titles, I am CPU bound since I only have a 5900X. And I explained in other videos that I'm waiting to see the performance in the 9950X 3D so that then I can make my decision in which processor I can upgrade to. But so far, it handles most of the games that I throw at it really well, with the exception of a few titles, and I will explain as I'm going through the games. Now, as you can see, this is native resolution, and I'm gonna change it live here. We're gonna go to display, and as you can see, is 1440p. We're gonna go to DLSS on Ultra Performance mode, which would be A53 by 480, and it's all maxed out with all ray trace reflections. And take a look at now how it looks. It does look a little blurrier, but honestly, apart from what it originally looked, oh my goodness, it looks so clear. It doesn't look like native resolution. I'm gonna tell you that right now, but it looks awfully similar to native resolution. I mean, this is incredible. And here's some enemies. By the way, I beat this game and I unlocked most of the end game stuff. I haven't gotten around with the survival modes, but I can actually pretty much one-shot everything around here because I'm first off beginning to do the new game plus. But as you can see, crap. I got hit with that missile head on, son. I could have just done this, hold on, and grabbed the shield. But as you can see, it looks phenomenal. And I can just destroy everybody like this. Woo! Hold on a second, guys. I'm gonna switch back to another DLSS mode as soon as I'm safe from killing these guys. I haven't played this game in a while, so. But anyways, now that you saw me destroying everybody and almost getting destroyed, I'm gonna switch now to performance mode, which is 720p, and take a look at some of the differences. I mean, it barely looks like it's been downscaled. I'm gonna move around a little bit so that you guys can have a feel of how it performs. And if you could see in the graph up there, I am heavily CPU bound, so the performance isn't gonna be extraordinary, but you can notice the difference from the get-go while using DLSS on performance mode. Now, I'm gonna change to balance mode, which makes the game look closely to native resolution. This is where it starts shifting into making it look almost exactly the same. Now, I'm not sure, because I did turn on a filter to sharpen it, but I'm not sure if I'm currently running it, so I'm actually gonna check to see if I have. Yes, I do have a sharpen profile on. I'm gonna take it off so you guys can actually see it. But you can see it is barely any difference from the sharpen mode that I just showed you guys. But yeah, this is what it looks like in DLSS 4 on balance mode. It looks incredible, guys. Like, NVIDIA is doing pretty great things with this DLSS model. Now that you saw 720, well, not 720p, but it's a little closer to 1440p, which is the balance mode. And now we're gonna switch it to the closest, which is quality mode, and you're gonna see that it almost looks seamless. As you can see now, it looks almost just like 1440p, with the exception of a little bit of blurriness. But honestly, this game runs fantastic, even on the new hardware. I cannot wait until I get a new CPU so that I can actually get some really good raw performance. But yeah, out here, it looks fantastic. I love this new DLSS 4 model. It's just amazing. And the game looks great. So now that you guys have seen it in one of the games, we're gonna move on to the next one. The second game I wanted to try, it is Doom Eternal. And right here we have it on native resolution. I'm gonna go into the settings. It is 1440 by default. I do have motion blur in Ultra Nightmare. It is my personal preference. For the video though, I'm gonna turn it off just so you guys don't have any motion sickness and die off mid-video. So I'm gonna turn it off. And as you can see, this is how native resolution works. I am going to switch it down to DLSS on performance mode because it only has 3 settings. It has balance, performance, and quality modes. So I am gonna switch it to performance. Apply the changes. And wow, guys, this is just incredible. Like, it barely, yo, listen, it barely even, wow, like it barely even freaking switched it. Now, this is my first time actually seeing it in Doom Eternal, but holy smokes, this is so close to native resolution. It's not even funny, man. Like, this is incredible. Wow, like, am I sure that I have it on DLSS on performance? Yes, I do. Oh, it has a sharpening. Okay, so let's try it with 0% sharpening. Let's see how it looks. It still looks fantastic. It doesn't even look like that horrible TAA. It doesn't even look like that. It has wow, like it's wow, dude. Like, I'm amazed. I'm freaking impressed with this. Wow. I cannot believe it. Like, balance and quality modes are gonna look exactly like native resolution, man. Like, this is totally out of this world. I mean, it does have its artifacts and stuff like that in certain games, but in this older titles, man, I mean, I don't know if you could see it. I mean, YouTube is not gonna do any justice, but I am gonna upload this video in 4K so that you guys can actually see what I'm talking about in terms of performance. And holy smokes, man. This is just, it barely even downscaled it. Wow, this is incredible, man.
Levels rising, reestablishing power to core and supplementary systems.
Now that I'm here in this little AFK moment in the game, I'm gonna switch it to balance mode. Apply the changes. And as I told you, it looks almost identical to native resolution. Let me make sure that there's no sharpen mode here. Yeah, it's 0% sharpness mode. And it looks just like native resolution, man. This is incredible. This is incredible, man. Like, they're gonna give me an ice bomb modification now, and I'm gonna run through the tutorial, I think. But holy smoke, guys, like, this is definitely worth taking a look at if you're a fan of Doom. This is definitely the way to go in terms of, like, if you want to get more performance out of it. Balance mode is definitely recommended by me. So we're gonna switch to quality mode, and you already know it's gonna look like native resolution. So yeah, as you can see, we still see a little bit of blurriness that can be fixed with the DLSS sharpness, but it runs fantastic and it performs fantastic. You can barely tell the difference between all presets in the new DLSS 4. Like, this is incredible. This is definitely incredible. This is nuts. Wow, like, I know that I'm going away. I'm just walking just to see the details on it. You can see the blurriness a little bit more in terms of the reflections, but that's gonna improve over time. And barely any artifacts. Like, you can really see an awful lot of detail that you couldn't see before, unless you sharpen the image, of course. But yeah, this is what it looks like. Now we're gonna go into the next game. The third game that I'm gonna be running is Metro Exodus Enhanced Edition. Now, this game runs really well for the most part, but specifically in this area, this game goes to shit when it comes to performance. And the reason why is because if you make a quick turn, you could see that my CPU is being bottlenecked more than my GPU, and the performance is being lost. It's no problem. It still runs at like 90 to 100 FPS. But in earlier cards, you might want to tune down some settings. My guess is that it has to do with the advanced physics, but I'm not too sure. I'm going to take it off later, but not in the video. What I'm going to test now is just for the DLSS quality modes, balanced and performance modes, as well as Ultra Performance, which is available in this game. And I'm going to switch it right now. As you can see, it's on native resolution right here. And I'm going to switch it now to DLSS on Ultra Performance mode so that you can see this first. So we are back again on Ultra Performance mode. And as you can see, there's not that much blurriness. You know what I mean? So as you pan over and you see around the trees and stuff like that, you can see certain artifacts. But overall, the game looks very good, specifically in Ultra Performance mode. Some of the textures have been blurred out, but then again, that comes from the DLSS being so low resolution. And again, as I stated before, not every game is going to look wonderful from the get-go. DLSS is going to improve in time. But so far, this game looks phenomenal. Now we're going to change it to performance mode, which looks a little bit better, if you ask me. It looks less blurry. Again, YouTube doesn't do any justice, but I'm just running around and panning left and right so that you guys can see textures from close range. Like if I close up right here, I know I can't point out an NPCs, but as you can see, it's very good. And even in performance mode. But as you could see now on the top left, my CPU bottlenecks a lot more. I'm gonna switch it now to balance mode. And now in balance mode, we can see that it's closer to native resolution, with the exception of a little bit more blur than quality mode, but a lot less blurrier than ultra performance and performance modes. Like, you can pan, and that's the only reason probably you would actually notice a resolution change. And of course, from a distance, objects may look blurry and jaggy, but as you get closer, the resolution almost looks identical to native. Now we're gonna switch it to quality mode. And now in quality mode, it looks really close to the native resolution. Like if you pan, you can't see like any of those jagged edges you could see back in like balance and performance modes. And the game runs great. Again, I am CPU bound due to DLSS and being my super old but friendly processor. And this looks very good, especially in an older title like this that doesn't have any frame generation or has any of the new techniques that NVIDIA is using with the new DLSS. But this looks fantastic. We just have to see better improvements as time goes on and the 50 series cards get released. But yeah, this is very good. Like, you can get close here and see that most of the textures look awfully similar to DLSS without DLSS mode. And there you go. This is the new DLSS on Metro Exodus. Now we're going to move on to the next game. All right, for our next game, we're going to play Dying Light, specifically Part 2, which came with ray tracing and DLSS. It was one of the first games to implement DLSS, and I was able to update it to the new DLSS version, and I'm able to run it with the transformer model. So right quick, this is native resolution. As you can see, I'm going to try to remain in the same area because I've restarted this game many times. I got really disappointed in this game because I played the first one. I loved the first one personally, but they kind of changed the story to like 15 years later or something like that, and they left out a lot of plot holes. Now, I know that if you progress through the story, it's gonna give you certain hints as to what happened in that one island in the first one, but it didn't get me interested because they changed the characters like that blatantly, you know what I mean? So right quick, you could see that in native resolution, it looks fantastic. It has frame generation on. It was implemented recently with an update. So it works phenomenal now with frame generation. It's currently on, but it is on native resolution. So what we're gonna do real quick is, as you can see, there's no upscaling. Gamma is only at 20%, and frame generation is on. Motion blur, I have it at like 20%, so it's not gonna be really noticeable. I don't want to completely turn it off because in some games, the motion blur just looks good. So real quick, we're gonna put it in DLSS Performance because it is the only lowest preset that it has. So we're gonna put it in DLSS Performance and test it. And wow, like in this game, you can actually barely tell that it is on performance mode. Like, it's similar to Doom Eternal, where if you take a look at the graphics real well, you could see a little bit of blurriness, but not as much as it was on Metro Exodus. This is completely good. I'm panning to the forest area so that you guys can see. It does have a little bit of artifacting, but that probably might be due to frame generation. Other than that, it looks really close to native resolution. Now we're gonna again stay right here, and we're gonna change into balance mode, and we're gonna check how balance mode looks. And lo and behold, it looks awfully similar, with the exception that now in balance mode stuff is a lot smoother. Now I'm not sure, because in certain games I do recommend turning off any anti-aliasing, because by default sometimes DLSS will disable anti-aliasing, obviously, because it's an anti-aliasing technique. But man, it looks so close to native resolution. It does look a little bit blurry. It doesn't have a sharpness option, so you're pretty much stuck with like what you see in the screen. But other than that, it looks fantastic. It looks phenomenal. Like, I haven't seen not that many games that their ultra performance modes look like this, except Cyberpunk, maybe Control, and Doom Eternal. Oh, and sometimes Red Dead Redemption 2, which is going to be the next game I'm going to be testing. So, I mean, doesn't have that many artifacts. It's actually pretty good. We're going to change it now to quality mode, and I'm pretty sure it's going to look like native resolution. So I'm going to put it. I think there is a sharpening. I did see a sharpness. Yep, there is a 50% sharpness. Let me take the sharpness off on quality mode and see if I see any difference. Oh yeah. Like, you can barely tell it's running at anything other than native resolution. Like, this game looks really good. The ray tracing was very well implemented. The good thing, you have the option of switching to DirectX 11 mode, which could increase performance in earlier cards, but ray tracing is strictly used as DXR here. And it looks, I mean, it looks and performs fantastic. It's able to remain at 98 to 99% even as I'm panning here, which most games do with me. But yeah, I mean, this is very, very good. It doesn't look blurry. Even with the sharpness all the way off, you can use the sharpness just to sharpen the image a little bit. But I wouldn't recommend you going lower or higher than maybe I'd say 35% on quality mode, because then you will start seeing like the jagged edges and stuff like that. You start seeing a lot of jaggies. But other than that, the game is wonderful. So yeah, I mean, it looks fantastic. Now let's move on to Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, the final game that I'm going to be testing is Red Dead Redemption 2. And as you could see here, this is on native resolution. It's not using any kind of DLSS. It's using only TAA mode, and I did sharpen the image a little bit because, let's face it, TAA looks horrible in games. But when you sharpen it a little bit, it looks pretty normal. As you can see, the vegetation, I'm walking around a little bit here. This game looks beautiful. Like, I have like maybe 150 to 170 hours in this game. I beat this game already. I restarted it because I want to replay it again. But once you play this game, you can never get that first experience back. And I started it over thinking that I was gonna get that same experience, and so far, with new DLSS settings and able to configure different presets, I'm having as much fun as I did when I first started playing this. And as you could see here, it works pretty damn well with the RTX 4090. Now, I did update it, the DLSS version to 4.0, so that you can actually see the transformer model in this game. And of course, we're gonna start with DLSS on Ultra Performance. So let me go over here and look it up real quick. Put some DLSS on Ultra Performance. Now I'm gonna take off the sharpening because when you sharpen the image a little bit, it does look a lot better than usual. So I'm gonna actually just leave it like that with no sharpening, so that you guys can actually see the true image quality in this game. And as you could see, it looks almost identical to 1440p resolution, which is the native resolution that I'm using. Now, you could see some artifacts, specifically when you pan. Let me see if I can. Oh no, I can't unholster my gun in the town. But as you're panning and like going left and right, if you do it really fast, you could see the artifacts. That usually comes with performance, but you can barely see them now. Like, this game looks fantastic on Ultra Performance settings. And I was tweaking with it. I did actually, using DLSR, I upscaled the image quality to 4K, and then I use Ultra Performance. And it pretty much looks like freaking 1080p. Like, honestly, it looks fantastic. So right here, real quick, we're going to change it to Performance. And man, it takes such a long time to freaking get to DLSS here. Like, you gotta press down a lot to be able to get there. Now we're gonna put it in performance mode so that you can see it looks a lot better than it did before. It almost looks like performance mode, to be honest. And lo and behold, this game is extremely playable and extremely desiring in performance mode. Like, this is crazy. And I'm moving around, panning the seat. You can see a couple of artifacts in the character model. You could see the blurriness on the distance. You can actually see blurriness in the rocks, mainly in the trees. You could see you can barely see the artifacts anymore. But I remember when I played this game with DLSS 2, and you can see this little white sparkles going around the trees when you're using Ultra Performance or performance modes, or even on balance mode. And in DLSS 4, it's barely no longer existent, as you could see. Now let's switch it down to, I entered the social club. What the hell is going on here, brogy? So this is raw and unfiltered. This is gonna go on YouTube just like this. So we're gonna type it, well, not type, but we're going to change it to balance mode so that you can see as you change the DLSS presets, it becomes more and more closer to the original resolution, which is 1440. And as you could see, the artifacts while looking at the tree, especially in like deep vegetation like this, it's almost completely gone. Like, you could see it a little bit in the distance, but man, it looks so much better than when this started with DLSS. It's just amazing. It's just phenomenal. This has Ultra Performance all the way to quality modes. It doesn't have the LAA. It's an older title. Actually, it's one of the first titles that actually implemented DLSS. So yeah, this game came out back when the 20 series was available. And it ran fine, but it doesn't perform as much as it does now with the new DLSS model. And it is just fantastic. And mind you, I'm only using a 4090, so I can imagine how it looks on a 5090 with the Blackwell AI. We're gonna quickly change it to quality mode so that you can see it's pretty much like regular resolution. And quality. And as you could see, quality mode is literally native resolution in this game. This is just fantastic. I'm gonna show you a little bit of the scenery because I love playing this game in quality mode. I mean, it's just, why not? You know what I mean? Like, why not? In terms of like performance and image quality. This is like the best way to play if you're using DLSS. If you're not using DLSS and you want to go straight to native resolution and destroy your performance in 4K, then you can go ahead and do so. Or with these new cards, it's really not gonna do anything. It's gonna, if anything, increase your image quality even further. But then again, this actually looks better than TAA. And as you can see, I love the sky in this game. I love pretty much everything about this game, including the sun, the clouds, the trees, the mornings, the nights. Anything about this game, the detail in this game is just fantastic. And as you can see, it performs really freaking well. Although I have a little bit of bottleneck going on. Again, I'm CPU bound, but yeah, this looks phenomenal. And if you get close, look, for example, I'm gonna get off the horse real quick. As soon as he stops, it just stood doing this. Look at this. I'm not even doing anything. But yeah, let me actually unholster the gun and I'm gonna show you closely the hair. It's still working on having those little artifacts, especially when it comes in the tessellation and the aliasing of like hair follicles and stuff like that and vegetation. But other than that, the only thing that you would see it is as long as you decrease the quality even further, you're going to start seeing more of those artifacts. But other than that, this game looks fantastic, guys. Anyways, this is the last game to wrap up the video. If you like this video, you can go ahead and subscribe. And I'll be bringing more stuff like this in the near future, as well as the retro gaming that I'm doing with Diablo 1. Anyways, I think that's it for today, and peace out.